to another Trade the Open Like a Boss with Oliver Velez. I apologize for getting the recording started a bit late this morning. I had some difficulty from a technical perspective, but I'm very glad things have not gotten off to that much of an explosive start. I've put on close to a 4,000 share position in Apple. I've put on a 1,000 share position in Guild, both on the short side. Guild is moving to the downside, as you see on the 2-minute chart here. Apple is backing up on me here a little bit, but not by much. Now, apparently, I'll have to work through both of these positions here. As you can see, I typically operate in the morning off of the 2-minute time frame. I do reference the daily time frame as well. I like to determine whether or not the daily, or from a daily perspective, has the stock been pulling back over the last few days, or has the stock been rallying over the past few days? And if the stock has been rallying over the past few days, my short has greater odds of pulling back nicely. If the stock has been declining over the last few days, the better odds tend to be on the upside. So I like to reference the daily, but I do tend to focus primarily on the 2-minute time frame. Guild has dropped nicely. Let's see if we can get some more downside here. Given the fact that Guild has dropped very nicely under its 20-period moving average, which is the blue line, and under its 200, I'm comfortable if Guild rallies back and gives me an opportunity to actually short more. All right. Any pull back toward those two key moving averages, in my opinion, is not the trade going wrong. It's the trade setting itself up for even another, perhaps even sharper move to the downside. So Guild can drop a little bit lower. If it drops a little bit lower, I will lighten up on my 1,000 shares. It's still a light position. But to be honest with you, I prefer Guild to back up a little bit, to pull back toward those two key moving averages up here, stall, give me an opportunity to actually build my 1,000 share position into maybe a 3 or 4, maybe even a 5,000 share short position. But we'll see how it goes. Now, Apple is moving very nicely in my favor. All right. I like it. All right. We're up about $1,000 here, a little bit shy of $1,000. Now it's coming back. The morning is very whippy and volatile. And to be very frank with you, I absolutely love it. I love the whippiness. I love the volatility. That's what a trader really thrives on, a real trader. All the traders out there looking for safety and non-volatility, and looking at ratios that diminish their risk, and oh my God, give me a break. That is just not me. So I'm starting to shave down my Apple as it moves into profitability here, up about $1,000 in it. Again, as I mentioned to you in many prior videos, my goal is to grab anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 in the first 15 minutes of trading. I'm looking for an explosive jump to the morning, and then I can build from there. As I mentioned to you before, also, the art is to build from there and to not jeopardize the gain that was acquired as well. So I pared down my Apple just a little bit, still got 2,000 shares. It's moving back to the upside here. We're going to be volatile for a little bit. My Guild is in profitable territory by about $300 here. Again, as I mentioned to you, I would love for Guild to rally back to these moving averages. I would love it. That would give me an opportunity to build on my short position. All right. Now I'm bidding for Apple at 42s. We're trading between 55 now and in the mid 50s. We're trading at 120. Well, now we're trading at 126.60s now. Right. So all of these things are backing up on me. All of these things are coming back. I'm in profitable territory by about $1,000. I've already booked 500. I've got open P&L for a little shy of 500. So it doesn't look like I'm going to get my closed $1,000 to $3,000 in the first few minutes here. But let's see if we can really build on this in a significant way. All right, let's see if we can do that. Okay, so Guild is pulling back on me here. Now, a lot of traders who are not very seasoned, they have a hard time dealing with these swings. They have a hard time seeing a $1,000 gain go all the way back to only a $100 gain or even a negative. I have no such issues with that. All right. I've long ago learned that you have to give your stocks dancing room, or what I refer to with my traders when I teach them, I refer to it as knee bending room. All right. If a stock, figuratively speaking, is a basketball player, you must allow the basketball player to bend its knees. All right. You can't have the greatest basketball player that you've paid hundreds of millions of dollars to join your team to not bend its knees. All right. It has to bend its knees to defend other to defend against other players. It's got to bend its knees to do its dunk. It's got to bend its knees to make its shots. Its first has to be able to go in the opposite direction a certain distance so that it can spring forward in the desired direction. If you're a player that cannot allow its if you're a player that cannot allow its stocks to ebb and flow, to dip, if you will, to move in the opposite direction a little bit, it's a losing game. You make the game so much harder. Right now, there has to be a maximum limit. You can't allow your basketball player to bend so far where it just falls on the floor. All right? You can't allow your stocks to go in the opposite direction so far that it delivers a debilitating loss. No, you can't do that. But you do have to have a predefined amount that you're willing to allow your stocks to ebb and flow. And it has to be predefined. Okay, Apple is negative by $30 here. I've closed $500 in profitability on it. Its open position is negative 70. Guild's open position is up $100 or so. So these are all neutral here. Nothing to write home about. I got an opportunity to close out $500 and change. All right. And to be honest with you, I'm talking to you, and it's not the same as my trading is never the same talking to you as it is me trading without talking to you, because as I was talking to you, I should have been shorting more of Apple on this move up, and I should have been shorting more of my Guild. So let's do that. I still have an opportunity on my Guild. I'm putting some offers out at 98. Let me put some offers out at 96. It's coming in on me a little bit. I don't want to hit the bid on these. I want to see if they hit the offer. I'm up a little close to $1,000 again on Apple. Is moving back to the downside. I'm bidding at 42s on Apple. So I'm also bidding at 52s. So I just got filled on my 52s. I'm down to 1,400 shares. So I closed a little bit more of Apple. My closed P&L is 638 on Apple. All right. We're now moving back up. It's just a volatile morning. It's a volatile morning. I still have a few shares bidding at the 54s, but we're trading at 71s now on Apple. So I'll leave those 54s in just in case we move back down there. But it's a good possibility that we're not going to move back down. This is the second time, if you look here, this is the second attempt that Apple has made to break significantly below 126.50. So obviously there's some buy support down here at 126.50. In fact, I'm part of that buy support. I'm bidding at 126.54. Those bids have not been hit as of yet. I'm buy support. Other traders are buy support as well, obviously, because we dropped to the 126.50 area, rallied. We dropped again to the 126.50 area and rallied again. So there's obviously some mild support. Let's see. We're going back into the 50s now. Let's see if there is, yes, it's hitting. Wait a minute. I've actually, I think I sold too much. I did. It's just crazy. Sometimes I'm just crazy. Okay, I closed the Apple position. I was short and sold actually too much. Remember, I told you I had all those shares bidding at the 54s, and I actually had too many shares bidding at the 54s. And I had more shares bidding at the 54s than I had short. So I actually went long by 200. I just had to unwind that position really quickly. But anyway, close to $900 so far on the Apple. The Guild now. Let's see if we can work the Guild here. All right. Oh, I like it. Guild is moving back toward those moving averages, right? Let's see if we can get short more. All right. I'm short only 2,300 shares. It's really still not a big position. I'm bidding at 102s at 100.02. Let's see if I can get filled more. I'm short 2,300. I like this pullback here though. I really like it. Okay, I'm up to 2,800. I'm now bidding at 100.09s. Let's see if I can get the nines filled. I would love for it to come up a little bit more here to meet this moving average. Okay, I may not be able to get it, but I'm not bidding, I'm sorry. I'm offering stock for sale at 100.09s. So I like this. I like this area here. I like this. This is giving me an opportunity to build my position. And let's see if I can cross that $1,500 mark or so. Let's see. I do market the fact that a lot of times in the first 15 minutes, you can have your $1,000 to $3,000. And for the most part, that is true. As you saw earlier, $1,000 plus mark was had very early, all right? It wasn't closed at that profitable amount. I let the market volatility work itself out. But had I not had some technical difficulties at the open, had I gone in a little heavier, all right, I would have perhaps closed more. But I was still sort of light in my shares and wanted to give the stocks an opportunity to give me an ability to maybe even build up some size to get some really decent gains going on here, well beyond $1,000 or what have you. So far, we're close to the $1,000 mark. I have a feeling that we might have to work this guild a little bit here. We're going to go way beyond our 15-minute mark here. Again, I'm offering stock for sale 100.09. Okay, I would love for the stock to actually get to those offers up here. All right, we'll see. There's a good possibility that we do. We are dealing with a negative morning. Look at the top of my screen here. So I have that going for me. This move to the upside is a counter market move. So the market's negative, okay? But Guild for the last, oh, what is that? 4, 6, 8, 10. For the last 12 to 14 minutes has been bucking the trend. And usually that's a temporary phenomenon, as we're starting to see here. All right, so I'm back up to $238 on the Guild. All right. And let's see if Guild can at least start to try to retest the lows. Now, it's also still a good possibility that this is just a little wrinkle to the downside and there's a secondary push back up toward its overhead 200 period moving average. And maybe even as far as, look at this dashed line here. This dashed line is yesterday's close. Now, I love when a stock has the 200 and the prior day's close by. Those two items close by offer a great deal of resistance. All right, should there be a push back up into that area. All right, though that area of resistance up there would give me a nice opportunity to further build my short position for pushback down toward the downside. All right, I'm just simply not afraid to temporarily be in negative territory. Negative territory does not move me at all. As a matter of fact, it excites me. Most traders love a challenge. So again, I am offering shares out for sale. See this number, 100.07? I'm a little bit above that, 100.09. Okay, about $300 in profitable territory on the open position so far. I will start to bid in the 70s. I'm at 99.82 right now. Here we are. We're in the 70s now. I'm bidding at 75s. All right, let's see if we get filled at 75s. All right, great, fantastic. Filled at 75s. Oh, no, I don't want that. Back up into the 80s. I don't want to bid in the 80s. I want the 70s and below. We're back in the 70s. I'll take the 70s. I don't want the 80s. Okay, so I'm bidding in the 70s. I'm bidding at 78s and 77s. Okay, we've closed out. All right, I'm being filled at 77s. I'm in the 60s now. See if we can get filled in the 60s here. We're falling into the 60s. All right, position closed. And there we have it. All right. Due to some technical difficulty this morning, we had a little bit longer to go this morning. All right. Could not seem to get my system operational right at the open. As many of you traders who know me very well, you know that I do like to trade from many different exotic locations. You cannot always rely on the internet reliability of the various places you trade from, but I would not give it up for the world. I deal with that. I hear a lot of traders complaining about their platform being slow or the internet failing on them. These traders, while their complaints might be very, very valid, have no idea how things were back in the early 90s when the internet was just really getting underway. I was one of the pioneers in that era. I was one of the first traders to put test trades on the ARCA exchange, on the Island Exchange. The ARCA exchange is now the New York Stock Exchange. The Island Exchange was one of the first true, real ECNs on the market. Many of these exchanges came to me because I had traders that traded very actively, that could test out their systems and so forth and so on. And the problems that we basically dealt with, the issues that we dealt with were so testing to your average trader, it wasn't even funny. So the problems that we experience today pale in comparison to what the internet related, connectivity related problems were back in the old days. But anyway, here we are with our $1,600 in profits. As I mentioned to you, um, what I typically do for the rest of the hour is to go into sniper mode, to build on this $1,700 in profits, 200 here, 300 there, 600 there, and so forth and so on, artfully enough not to jeopardize the $1,600. And there we have another morning, another Trade the Open Like a Boss session with Oliver Velez. Coming to you live, but closing out only for now until tomorrow. Ciao.